Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief, live, 5 minutes. The Editor-in-Chief is live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome to the program. It's November the 12th. Good to have you company. You are with the Editor-in-Chief and we are live.
Duncan Garner, live.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Duncan Garner. Welcome to the program. Leave us a message. All the details are there. You send us your thoughts. Forget the company car. That's so 80s, isn't it? Imagine this. Imagine negotiating a job and salary with your new employer and they ask if you wanted to make a flash new bike part of your package. As in, it's taken into account as part of the full package, so salary sacrifice. Now, imagine that as a standalone business. Who would do this? It's been done. It's called WorkRide, and more than 700 businesses have signed up to the scheme where you sacrifice some of your salary for a bike of your choice. You get fitter, you pay less tax. The way it works is you end up better off. You actually pay less tax, you're fitter, as I said, and healthier. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation. Okay, tonight the people behind WorkRide have joined us. How does it work and why 700 New Zealand companies and institutions and agencies have already signed up, and have you? And do you think you might? Let's go, let's rip into it.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, this is a fascinating one. I find it fascinating, even everybody. It's a win-win-win-win situation. WorkRide is the name of it, and your company pays for the flash new bike, you see, in these salary negotiations. Well, you take a small hit to your salary, but it works out well right across the board. Let's explain this. You pay less tax, you get fit, you save the planet, and you haven't had to front up with anything. Connor Reid is one half of the WorkRide team, and he joins me now. Connor, g'day. Nice to have you on the program.
Good evening, Duncan. Thanks for having me on board.
You're very welcome. Have I done you a good sell there? Is that about right?
Yeah, I was actually hoping we could hire you.
I'm available. Hey, take us through it. When did this idea hatch?
Yeah, so we actually had a business about 2 years ago now, operating a leasing fleet down here in Christchurch, and we keep getting feedback from employers saying, "Hey, we'd love to support our team, but we can't. There's a tax that needs to be paid on any subsidy we provide to our employees if we're leasing a bike for them." So we ran a campaign with community groups, with policymakers to really push the government to say, hey, this exemption should be here in New Zealand. It exists in the UK, Australia. And we were really fortunate with the previous government that came through in 2023. And since then, we've been building WorkRide, so developing the compliance framework, organising the software, and bringing the retailers on board across the country.
It seems ridiculous that it's tax. It seems ridiculous. Well done. It seems ridiculous that this tax was sitting there when you think about what's good for the planet, what's good for you, what's good for the country.
Oh, 100%. It's hey, it's been really showcased well in the UK and across Ireland. It's just that we're about 20 years behind, so we're there now.
Okay, so there's no tax. So how does it work then? So I'm going. Let's say I've just landed a job with you. I've landed a job with you, it's because you offered, so I've taken it. Now we're talking salary. How does it work?
Yeah, totally. Hey, well, there's I guess first of all you've got to have your employer on board. So I mean, WorkRide is a provider of WorkRide to their team as well. And what you can do is you don't have to have it when you sign up, but at any point in your employment across your job, you can elect to swap out part of your pre-tax pay for a bike or a scooter of your choice. So 4 steps, Duncan, I should say. So once you've registered with us, you get your unique ID. You can go to one of our retail partners to select your bike. We manage all the compliance, all the documentation, and your employer just reduces your pre-tax pay by the value of the bike or scooter that you're choosing to have. So that reduction in pay lasts for about 12 months while your employer recoups the cost of the bike or scooter they've provided to you. And then from there on, you get to keep that bike as your own bike for commuting to and from work.
Right, so you pay it off effectively with that salary sacrifice, and your employer basically pays pays for it. It's taken out of your hands, isn't it? It's made easy.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. So it's a cash flow impact to the employer on day one, but then they can recoup that full cost across 12 months. And so from an employer's perspective, it's cost neutral. From an employee's perspective, there's nothing to lose. There's a big tax advantage to use for riding to and from work. And so that's kind of the turnkey product that we provide.
Well done. Congratulations. When I first heard this here at work, I thought, wow, that's innovative. And this is the new economy, isn't it? Coming up with an idea. It's all done, basically with technology, but it's the concept and the idea of how it works. You've got to have this concept that works. It's a great idea.
Yeah, no, appreciate that, Duncan. And I think it's like I mentioned, it's been proved overseas. We just needed to adopt it and change it to meet the New Zealand legislation. There's a massive element of education, right? Salary sacrificing is massive in Australia, massive in the UK. But talking about tax with Kiwis and just educating them about what's on offer.
We're a bit disengaged, aren't we?
We are a little bit, yeah. No, that's exactly
what do we do? Well, we have to talk about it more. We have to talk about it more.
Yeah, 100%. What we found is that Kiwis are really keen to understand what opportunities they're entitled to, and what we're doing is just taking away the complexity, the compliance risk, and ensuring that they can get access to their entitlements. Right? Riding to work isn't the only exemption that exists in our Income Tax Act. There is other ones like public transport, for example.
Yeah.
But if you ask the average Kiwi, they're just not aware of what they can have on the table.
What was the tax that Labor got? Was that the fringe benefit?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the same time that the exemption came through for bikes and scooters, there was an exemption for public transport. And you might have seen at the time there was also a tabled exemption for electric vehicles, but unfortunately not in place just yet.
No, it's not there yet. But I think was that FBT? Was it about 49? Was it 49%?
Well, it's actually depending on your marginal tax rate, right? It's taxed to the highest tax bracket, but then it's sort of brought back to your marginal tax rate.
Yeah, but it's still high. So you've got 700. What is it? 700 agencies, companies, whatever, have joined up.
Yeah. So we launched in December last year. We've got some pretty massive growth. We're really excited, and employers are really leaning in. So about 700 employers nationwide, and they represent just over 50,000 employees that now have access to WorkRide as an employee benefit. But something we're really excited about, Duncan, is actually the growth and the interest in our pipeline, right? So we've got just over 3,000 employers now that have reached out to us to say, hey, love the idea. How can we make it work for our team? And obviously some of those larger organizations, it takes a bit of time to work with their payroll team, the HR team to roll it out. But
I suppose
hopefully
they've got all
many more Kiwis.
And I was talking to a group of marketers today, actually, and we were talking about how easy it is to get decisions made these days. And it seems to be that there's just so many hurdles. There's three, I was talking to New Zealand Post, the warehouse, all these people today, and they know what they want to do, but it just takes the time to get past the hurdles,
I got to massage it through, right? And I think what we found is that salary sacrificing touches a lot of parts of the business. We've got HR, we've got the REM team, we've got payroll, and then obviously we manage a lot of risks, right? So we've got to work with the CFOs in these large organizations just to make sure that this isn't a scam. It's something that's an awesome incentive there for employees, but it's well intended to make that positive change.
It is well intentioned and it is well intended. And so what sort of bikes are they getting? What sort of bikes do the people, because you obviously have suppliers signed up too, yeah?
We do, that's right. On the supply side, right, we've got about 210 stores now that offer WorkRide in-store to their customers, and a massive range, Duncan. We've got, like, for example, we've got employers of 10 through to employers of 7,000. Some of them are quite urban, some of them are a little bit more rural, and so those employees have got a massive range in what bike meets their needs. And if you see them on the streets down here in Christchurch, you've got cargo bikes with buckets in the front, you see kids going to school on them, you've got long tails with kids on the back, and then we see a whole bunch of just urban workers that are boosting around electric bikes as well. Yeah. So a massive range. And
there really is. These shops now, what they're stocking in the shops is quite phenomenal, quite amazing. What's the most expensive bike that someone's got through the salary sacrifice?
That is a good question. I could tell you the range, right? So we quite often see bikes around $2,000 or $3,000 is the average, but they do sometimes range up to around $10,000. What we're seeing people doing is actually exchanging their family car, right? So they would be dropping the kids off in their I guess their second family car, but now what we're seeing is that the parents can drop their kids off at school on the way to work if they get themselves a cargo bike for that commute.
What are the employers saying about it? Have they found it a smooth and easy ride, so to speak?
Yeah, 100%. We've got some really awesome testimonials on our website of employers and the positive things they're saying. there's an incentive there, and the reason we were able to unlock it for employees is by taking away the hurdles and the hassles for the employers. And so all those data points, right, that's all influencing the design of our platform and the design of the process. So I guess some stories, we've got a local employer that's got a team member who's gone through a massive weight loss process over the last 3 months just from making that shift from being on a car into an electric bike.
Yeah, see, this, you might have saved them 10 years in their life. There might be a life. No, but I'm serious. You could argue if you're going to shift that sort of weight off someone, they could be around for another 20 years. Their kids might be.
Well, I think part of it's the weight, right? I mean, part of it's the financial impact. I mean, there's from a city perspective, we're helping with congestion, we're helping with emissions. I mean, air pollution is massive, right, in the cities. But on a second point, and more of an individual level, we've got employees that are salary sacrificing for that bike, but that salary sacrifice is less than the cost of running their car, and so they're actually making a saving on a week by week basis.
Yeah.
And that's obviously in conjunction with that health impact that we're creating.
Plus, you use the bike as it's not just a bike to go to and from work. You've got that bike for keeps. That bike's yours.
Yeah, well, that's
right?
exactly right. I mean, the predominant use obviously is for commuting to and from work to work under the scheme, but to your point, that's exactly right. We're just changing the way that people think about how they can move around cities.
And so, you what's your capacity? What's your range going to be? You've got what did you say? You've got 700. You've got 50,000 workers covered now. Are you in Auckland? Are you in Hamilton? Are you in Wellington?
Yeah, so I mean, we're a software platform, right? And so what we do is it doesn't really have any bounds. We've got shops all the way from Invercargill to where is our highest one? We're right at the top, right? So if you're working in an employment place, we've got a bike shop near you that can use WorkRide to sell a bike.
Yeah. And you haven't invested anything in that. You've got no factories. You've got no bikes. This is like Uber. You don't. But this is the new economy. This is the new economy. This is what we all have to.
100%. I mean, what we've done there. I mean, we've obviously developed a lot of IP in terms of our contract set, our understanding, our knowledge. I mean, it's part of the knowledge economy, right? And then we've developed out the software to actually facilitate it. And that software has got inherent value that we're looking to scale beyond WorkRide, but that's just where we're getting started.
How big could you go, do you reckon?
Well, I mean, if we take obviously, if you think about the UK, in the UK, there's 10 times as many people, but they do 100,000 bikes a year. And so when we scale that back to New Zealand, we'd love to help 10,000 people get out of their car and onto bikes every year. And I guess that's just a starting point in terms of what we can help.
What do your numbers look like now? What have you done so far?
Yeah, well, we've got just under 2,000 employees that are sort of going through the process across that 50,000 employee base. And so I guess that kind of gives you the idea from our first 10 months of being in the market, but seeing some pretty awesome ramping up.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. See, this is the reason I'm excited about this is because this shows our young people in school right now what you need to be doing in terms of tomorrow's jobs. You need to think. You need an idea. You need to execute that idea. This is the new economy. You're using software. You're using IT. You're using you're using a computer in your brains to effectively create jobs. But you don't own hardware. You don't have to invest in bricks and mortar. Which is what the new economy is all about.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I mean, there's two parts to it, right? I mean, we couldn't exist if we didn't have the brick and mortar company to help facilitate part of our service, but we do connect them all together, right? And I think two parts to that is that there are opportunities there that couldn't exist if there wasn't software. I mean, if you had to do manual paper salary sacrifices every time, that's just not a business. I mean, WorkRide wouldn't exist. It would be too expensive to operate. But we've got software platforms, software tools coming in now that means we can do this.
AI,
we can do it at very zero cost. I mean, we use AI tools on a daily basis. So absolutely.
In terms of the salary sacrifice, in the second year, once it's paid off, what's the conversation like with the boss? Can I now get back up to where I was going to be? I mean, how quick are those companies to move the people back onto that salary?
Yeah, I mean, the salary sacrifice is an endorsed document from IRD, right? So it's there's a gross salary which is part of their remuneration package for an employee. They're opting to temporarily reduce it in order to exchange that that tax income for a bike or a scooter. And then as soon as that obligation of that sort of total cost is complete, their salary goes straight back up to being what it was before the salary sacrifice started. So that's all managed through the payroll software. And it's something that's pretty automatic, Duncan. It's not something that the employee needs to worry about.
No, that's right. Would you have been able to do this if the previous government hadn't have made the moves around the tax?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, the opportunity that exists is because of the exemption in its own right. I mean, what we do is help employees connect with the entitlements they've got in the legislation. And that's only there because the previous government brought that through.
Who did you deal with there? How hard was that?
It was pretty challenging. I mean, I guess there's two sides of the argument. I mean, we worked with Julian Genter pretty closely
Yep.
up there in Wellington from the Green Party. We also worked pretty closely with members of the Labour Party. We were very fortunate to get support to get it across the line. But there is pushback, right? I mean, there's concerns that this is something that could be exploited, which is why we were really keen to bring WorkRide into the market to make sure people are using it in a really compliant way.
Well, in terms of exploitation, how would that work? I mean, what people are just how would that work? No, because you'd monitor that, wouldn't you?
Well, we do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's similar to the ute tax. I mean, you've got a tax exemption for work-related cars,
Yes.
but you do see people taking advantage of that if they
But
don't follow the rules.
incentives will always drive behaviour. You see, so if you want to slow something down, put a tax on it. If you want to speed something up, take the tax off it.
Totally right, and I think that's exactly what we've seen in the UK with electric cars, right? I mean, you see in Aussie, you see in the UK, there's been a massive spike in the uptake of electric vehicles, and that really aligns well with them bringing through an exemption for tax on those specific vehicles.
What's next then? What's the next big idea? You won't tell me. I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Hey, we're moving into public transport next, Duncan. At the same time that the exemption came through for bikes, it came through for public
So
transport.
how will that work?
Well, I mean, if you think about WorkRide, you're exchanging part of your pre-tax pay for a non-tax, non-cash benefit.
Yes.
Applying the exact same idea, right? So you can exchange part of your pre-tax salary for commuter credits, and that's coming out of your pre-tax pay, not your net pay, which creates the tax saving on
So
your.
you get free
I
bus
guess, your
tickets.
public transport.
Free bus tickets.
Yes, that's right.
It's effectively free
well,
passes.
heavily reduced.
Yeah, heavily
bus
reduced.
tickets,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Well, congratulations. Lots of feedback is coming in here. Great idea, good stuff. Maybe fine if you live 5 minutes from your job, but what if you live further away? Well, that's why you have electric bikes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep. Well, and I think that's part of the I guess maybe the total picture, Duncan, is that we before this even started, employers could provide car parks to their team exempt of FBT, right? And so that was part of the reason this exemption came through, was creating a bit of equality and I guess neutrality across the tax system. So having an exemption on bikes and scooters and public transport means if you're an employee, you've kind of got a bit of a balanced outlook, but then also moving forward, looking at electric vehicles, that would be the way that we'd love to sort of flesh this whole picture out.
You will need more cycleways. You want more of that sort of thing, don't you? I mean, when that infrastructure is built, it's good for you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think what we've seen over the last 5 years is a massive growth in the cycleway infrastructure, especially down here in Christchurch. And I think what WorkRide enables through the tax exemption is actually incentivizing people to get on the bikes and actually use the infrastructure that exists. I mean, my commute to work is about 8Ks, and that's completely on cycleways down here in Christchurch.
Yeah.
I think we just want to see more people using that infrastructure.
Can you buy electric motorbikes with this?
No, you can't. No. So
Even
I
if
guess
it's
part of
scooter?
that, maybe I should explain that, is the value we provide is that we make sure that all legislation is considered, and one part of that is actually the NZTA,
Yes.
I guess, definition of what a bike is and definition of an electric bike. And there's a certain criteria that needs to be met. And so if you're looking at electric motorbikes, that's a motor vehicle,
It's outside
not
of
an
it.
electric bike.
What about
Yeah.
scooters? Because these scooters now go 100 k's an hour too.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, that's something we're really conscious of as a team as well. So there are scooters that are under 300 watts with a certain wheel size diameter
Yeah.
that can go through the scheme, but those high power ones aren't actually allowed to go through.
They're dangerous. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
yeah, 100%.
I saw a guy on the motorway the other day in one.
We see a lot of them coming through as requests, but I guess it's part of the value that we provide to the employers is that those things actually are illegal on the road.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're illegal at Auckland because everyone's got them on the road. You know, they go way.
I think maybe there's a difference between what's illegal and what's enforced, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're well beyond the power limit of what's allowed to be on the road.
Oh no, that's madness. Hey, great to meet you. Great to see you. All the very best with your next idea and with this idea as well. What's your dream? What's the dream number for you guys and with this one? What's your dream number?
Yeah, I mean, if we sort of circle in on WorkRide, our dream number is to get to that 10,000 bikes here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But more broadly, I mean, we've got public transport, we've got income protection insurance, and we've got bikes. Those are the three benefits we'd love to bring to employees to help them, I guess, just fight the cost of living crisis, but actually get their entitlements.
I think it's wonderful. It's educating us. It's getting us fitter. Everyone wins. That's why I call it win-win-win. So yeah, well done. We'll catch up again, eh?
Cool. Yeah, thanks for your time, Duncan.
Yes, you're very
Appreciate
welcome. Thank you so much.
Duncan Garner, live.
Isaac, that's brilliance, isn't it? Like that's a thinking man's business, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think that's great.
And it's your town, Chicha.
Yeah, Chichi, that's where I'm from, and it's a great way to spend your money. Well, the thing is, it's kind of nice because you're not really spending your money, are you?
Well, you are, but you aren't. You don't realise it. But you got this fancy new bike because these electric bikes are expensive, right? And they're fancy, right? I saw one for 10 grand.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Anyway, so you just don't get the salary, but you get the bike. It's like, oh, I haven't paid for this. You
Yeah.
have actually.
Yeah, exactly. But like you don't see it come out of your account. You don't like see it pop up in your bills account. And then on that there's also the fitness side and there's also the environmental side of it as well, which is great. And so I think it's very cool.
This is the economy. That's why I talk about this is the new economy. This is what it comes down to. I would have thought Forrester might have, bettered himself and done something like this, but he's ended up here.
Yeah.
Like imagine if Forrester, he's got such a big brain, he could have done something like this if he really showed his full potential.
I don't know the tax system. Learn it. Do that. Yeah.
Nah, I think that guy's brilliant.
And what a good what a good city to do it in. Christchurch,
Perfect,
nice
right?
and flat.
Yeah.
And heaps of cycle areas.
Brand new cycle lanes.
Scenic.
You can do it at Hamilton. You can do it at Hamilton. Wellies.
Exactly.
There's cycleways everywhere.
Especially with these electric ones.
You're
That's
not
what
doing
we
much,
should
are
be
you?
invested in, right?
Of course we should be.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great business, and that's why I want to showcase it. If you've got a great Kiwi business that you think needs showcasing on here, get hold of me, Duncan at rover.nz. Let's do 3 questions.
3 questions from the editor-in-chief.
Okay, so what's affecting New Zealand retail shops now more than ever and more than anything else? It's Temu. Temu, the rise of Temu is having this massive impact on places like the warehouse. Temu sells plenty of everything, and it's reliable. Turns up, you don't leave your bedroom. No wonder Kiwi retailers are crying foul. I was with a number of these retailers today in the marketing area, and they all said Temu. Yeah, it's killing them. Number 2, have the bank profits made you sick yet? Have you reached for the sick bag? I don't know why we don't all find a Kiwi-owned bank and move our banking there, but because the big Aussie ones just continue to nail it. In the downturn, even more so. ANZ's got more than $2 billion as a profit headline this year. Westpac's more than $1 billion. BNZ's $1.5 billion. They've gone backwards. $1.5 billion and gone backwards. All those profits go one way to Australia. It's all going one way, and not a cent is invested here. And number 3, what should we do then with KiwiBank? We should all have a slice of it. It needs capital. It needs money. It needs to expand, but this government seems reluctant to throw new money in. So without capital, it can't compete, but with money, it can. I say we all get given the chance to invest in it. Buy some shares. Buy a slice of it. Give us a taste of Kiwi. You can't be all about buying houses. We can diversify what we own, can't we? Slice of KiwiBank. Why does Luxon & Co not think outside the square? Do they want to sell it offshore, maybe? They've mused about this before the National Party. Put New Zealand first. Bank with a local bank and stop sending your money to Australia.
Duncan Garner, live.
Right, which banks are you guys with? I need to. This is like an actual test.
I'm with TSB.
Oh, you are too. That's right.
Yeah, and I actually, I really like TSB because they were kind of the only, New Zealand's
They're really good.
kind of focused bank at the time that I signed up.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with TSB.
But the issue is that they've removed their Newmarket branch, and so I had an issue with my card, and they told me I had to go all the way out to North Shore to go and.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
well, you'll be allowed into the North Shore, won't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Get passport control on the top of the bridge. Isaac, tell me you're Kiwi Bank.
Yes, I am with KiwiBank.
Yes,
Yep.
am I.
Oh no, sorry, no, wait, hey, sorry, whoa, sorry. Misunderstood the question, which is a very simple one. That's my bad. I'm not with KiwiBank. I'm with BNZ.
Okay.
How did you misunderstand?
I know. I'm sorry.
Kiwi Bank. BNZ, well, BNZ was once owned by. BNZ was once owned by New Zealand before Isaac was born. So maybe that's why he was confused.
I remember going to an opening of a. Can we turn the music down? Sorry for us.
Yes.
This segment is finished.
There we go. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Maybe we're a little bit Atmos. We've got some Atmos. Some
Yeah, maybe. I remember going to the opening of a really random of a BNZ branch when I was in Christchurch when I was a wee lad.
Well, they're
I had a
closing all
family
the branches
friend
down now, right?
What
Yeah,
are you doing?
I had a family friend who his dad was very high up in the BNZ world, and he was at this opening, and for some reason I was there too. It was an empty lot of like rubble.
Do you think they remember you?
Well, no.
No, but you certainly remember it. Yeah, my dad worked at the BNZ. My grandfather worked at the BNZ. My uncle worked. They were all BNZ guys.
Yeah, there you go. It was. I remember they instead of cutting a ribbon, they kicked a rugby ball through a makeshift post.
On the rubble lot.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with banking?
Oh, I don't know.
New
Oh,
Zealand.
goal? Get your goal? Reach your goal?
Maybe,
Oh,
potentially.
Yeah.
There you go.
So here's some feedback. Stuart says, the employer gains the PR, but I pay for the bike forever through a lower salary. No thanks.
But it's incentivized through your tax, right? If I understand that correctly.
Yeah, that's right. But also, your salary returns back to normal. It's only it's 1 year, the salary sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's 1 year.
And it's also it is more efficient than saving up for the bike and buying it.
Correct.
Mathematically, right?
Yeah,
It
because
is. It's more efficient.
correct. Yeah, that's right. We're only home shopping to save the climate, remember, says Mike. Do you guys use Temu?
Oh, no.
No, we were just discussing out here that we hate it.
Why?
Because
We've got very different reasons for hating
Oh,
it.
no, I want to hear them. I want to hear them.
very valid reasons. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So my reason is because of child slavery and stuff like that. Which is very adamant within Temu and has been confirmed on multiple accounts.
We should pull out the China Free Trade Agreement.
And I don't know about that, but Temu is just a bad place, man.
But they get around it by saying that they are not the provider of these goods and services.
No, they are they are purely just the
So they're the website.
The website, yeah.
So
like
they
AliExpress.
promise, oh yes, of course we'll take down these guys who are doing pretty illegal trade practices and underpaying employees and.
But
things
I
like
bought
that.
something on AliExpress. I bought a boat.
Yep.
That's
right. How did that go?
I bought a rib, and it wasn't the same boat that was in the pictures.
Of course it wasn't.
I wanted a centre console, so I could boot it.
Yeah.
And they ended up sending me this shit one.
Yeah.
And so I sent it back, got money back. And they gave me every cent back.
I bought a rug off Temu, and it came and it was a
rug?
Yeah, a rug.
Why?
Rug, like a front doormat.
No, you got a Persian.
Why do you go to Briscoe's? Go to Briscoe's.
I bought a front doormat off. It was like $2 or something, and sure enough, a piece of paper with a photo of a rug printed on it turns up.
Oh no! My mate on Temu got me. He must have got them for free, but no, they were 90 cents. 4 caps to put on in the tyres, the tube.
Yeah.
And they were blue, so at night they would sparkle. They never sparkled. They've lost their shine. Anyway, I mean, it's a nice thought, isn't it, mate, doing that for you? They hate Temu because they can't win the game. Ha ha ha, says Mike.
Shut up, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Is Mike angry?
I don't know.
He's
Good on you, Mike. Love your work, mate.
Yeah, we love Mike. Slam it.
It's the Slam Dunk.
So I'm still reeling with what Siri found. Tom Gruber told me on the previous podcast, so the previous one to this. And I feel compelled to tell you all about it, because if you've missed it, I need to tell you. I want you to know about what he said when it comes to our kids and their screen time. What's happening? Health and safety warning. This may well shock you. This may well shock you. All those algorithms are destroying our reality, and no one knows what's true anymore. So this is what's happening to our kids. 14-year-old brains aren't developed to the point that they don't know when they're being lied to, when they're being misled, when they're dealing with tricks and that sort of thing. They are dealing with, this is what Tom said, they're dealing with TikTok. They're dealing with tricks and techniques that the gambling industry uses on adults. And these guys are 14. Their brains are defenceless, this is what Tom says, and they're under attack. It's like a one-armed bandit, and our kids are locked inside the casino all day going loose on these one-armed bandits. What's going to happen? What's the result? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all of them basically are gambling sites using underhand tactics to stop our kids doing what other things they might do, to control them and to monetize them. Their aim is eyeballs. And addiction keeps them there, okay? So more people are addicted to TikTok than all the people in the world who call themselves Catholics, okay? Or they're religious. So there's more people addicted to TikTok than there are Christians addicted to Christianity and go to church on Sundays. And it took thousands and thousands of years to convince people to follow this religious route. The TikTok addiction is bigger than that, and it's taken 5 years, not thousands of years. Isn't that astonishing? AI is now reading our kids' brains and rhythms and serving them up more of what they want, and it's keeping them there. Have a look at their behaviour. It's keeping them there. Basically, the social media tool or platform has read our kids' brains and is now controlling it. Just watch any given day how it plays out. If you're not close to this stuff, get close. Get close and have a look at it. These companies only care about putting the masses in front of the advertisers. The side effects or the liability for the harm done is not with the companies. They're fault-free. In America, and the same as here, in America, you can't hold them to account for the way the kids turn out. They get a free pass. Their motto is, this is what Tom says, is give away whatever it takes to keep the eyeballs on our platform. So it's war. Our kids are in a struggle for their own survival, and they don't even realise it. And the really gnarly AI that controls them even further isn't even here yet, says Tom. You know what the school ban on phones has been? It's been brilliant, right? And it's been a godsend. The Aussies are trying to ban social media for kids or for people under 16 years of age. Initially, I thought, how are you going to do that? I think we now need to do the same. I know it's so hard here because the horse is bolted, but the same as in Australia. So we need to watch the Australians closely and perhaps repeat it. We've got to try something. We're turning out a generation of addicted zombies. That's what Tom said. With zero social skills, we're at war with machines, with AI, and with the lowlifes who control it for evil, not for good things. It's all about money. It's all about money, and our kids are merely cannon fodder in the middle. Just beware. I just wanted to give you this as a warning in case you missed it yesterday. And if you can stand in the way now and then I suggest you do so.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, that is us. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for your feedback. Good feedback. Lots of feedback in there. This will be available as a podcast on Rover shortly, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for your feedback and for your comments and everything. I'm Duncan at rover.nz to my team. Isaac, sir, thank you very much.
No worries. Oh, just before we move on too quickly, we just want to apologise to Moana. We
Have you upset someone?
No, we jumped the gun a little bit. Okay, so after our
producers.
after our lovely after our lovely chat about Temu, Moana put up the comment. What was it? Was it shite prods or something like that?
Shite prods.
And and we assumed she was saying shite producers. And so
We put her in timeout.
we put her in a 5-minute timeout.
Did you?
Which we didn't know we could do that, but we apparently can.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
give it 10 minutes.
and so Moana, if you're listening, apologies for that, because we now realise that you might have been saying shite products, as in Temu gives shite products.
You guys see, this is the thing about you guys. I've tried to tell you, don't make rash decisions. Leave it till late in the day to make a decision on anything like this, okay?
Yeah, too late.
Or even come to me for advice. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought when I first saw it though, I thought she's saying shit producers.
Yeah, so
That's what we thought too.
And so we were like, you know what, we have the power here. And so we put her in timeout.
So do I need to make a formal apology as the editor-in-chief?
Yeah, to
Nah,
Moana.
we'll make that apology, Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
sorry
you've
about
done so. Yep.
Yep. Apologies, Moana. All the best, and thank
Stay
you
with
for
us.
thank you for your continued loyalty to this brand.
Do you think the next paradigm shift will be called the AI age?
Oh, maybe.
I think it already is a little bit, right?
I thought that was always the case too.
Yeah, isn't that the kind of story of this year and the end of the last?
Yeah, I think it's the last couple of years. So you throw an economic recession and an AI.
Yeah.
It's been like a tidal wave.
And theoretically, they go hand in hand.
What? Recessions
AI
are-
and recession.
What? The same hand or different hands?
Well, hand in hand, right? Like,
Oh, they love us.
Yeah.
Good on you, Forrester. Thank you very much. So to my team, Isaac, thank you very much. To our Forrester at large, he's here today. Thank you very much, Forrester. And remember, life isn't a dress rehearsal. There's no curtain raiser. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth. So get out and enjoy it. Have a great day and have a great rest of the night. Can I just say I've got really good producers. I'm really lucky, okay? We may take the piss out of each other, but they're good guys and know what they're doing. They're smart. Thanks, guys.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Call 0800 863 293.